Capital aqui!
E bom, pessoal, hoje trazendo um vídeo muito diferente para vocês e pessoalmente uma das maiores conquistas da minha vida. Eu tô muito feliz de ter tido essa oportunidade incrível de ter uma entrevista exclusiva com a Obsidian. E bom, vocês vão ver a entrevista completinha agora, totalmente legendada em português para vocês. E basicamente eu recebi esse convite e obviamente tudo isso não seria possível sem vocês. Então muito obrigado a você que acompanha o canal e me apoia nessa jornada. A gente está tendo um reconhecimento incrível com o lançamento do Grounded 2 e eu estou muito feliz com tudo que está acontecendo. E hoje eu trago para vocês essa oportunidade insana que eu tive e já adianto que muitas coisas foram reveladas nessa entrevista e posteriormente eu trarei alguns vídeos separados também sobre cada uma dessas notícias, mas fiquem aí agora com a entrevista completa e eu espero que vocês curtam bastante esse conteúdo.
Great, thank
Doing
you.
good.
I'm super happy that we get to chat because I know that we showed off a video, and don't worry, we'll give you enough time to ask all your questions. I promise I won't
That's
use
fine.
the time. But
That's fine.
we showed off a video to us and the entire team of the reactions, and your reactions brought so much joy to all of us that it just it does make it feel really special, and why it's fun to do this. And so I definitely wanted to be able to be like, hey, what questions do you have? Because you gave something to us, like we gotta give something back to you in terms of like answering what you want or whatever it is. So thank you for that, because it meant a lot. It means a lot to all of us.
This is very cool.
Well, that's nice to hear. I thank you guys. Thank you so much. This is a huge opportunity for me. And sorry for my English. I have some notes here, some scripts for helping me. And I'm very happy to hear that you say. And Grounded is so special. And my reactions is just a reflect of all you guys are doing with the game.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Max.
All right, so what do you got for us? What do you want to know? We'll tell you as much as we can. You know, I can't give you too much of the secrets, but
Of course. So I have some questions, and the first question I have here is about something. It's one of the most beloved topics of our community since Ground One, since the beginning. And I'm talking about mounts, the mounts. And what can you tell us about the mounts to help those who haven't seen the recent news understand how they work in Grounded 2?
you want to take
Maybe
that
that's
one?
fair, yeah,
go
sure.
for it.
So first off, we felt it was really important that the player earn their mounts. So you have to go through a process that's very grounded, right? You have to learn a recipe, and then you have to build some stuff for your base, and then you have to go on an adventure to get an egg for that mount, and then you have to hatch the mount, and then you can finally have your mount, right? So you've got to work for it a little bit, and hopefully the experience that we've created there is fun for people. We think it's pretty fun to adventure down into an anthill and pick up an egg and run out, and you can't fight while you're doing that. Instead, you just got to figure out how to get out of there. And so that's really cool. But that's just sort of getting the mounts. Like when we started just talking about Grounded 2, mounts was the very first thing we were talking about. Like how do we make this part of sort of everything that is Grounded? How do we make this not just something I want to get onto to go from point A to point B? Like, we don't just want it to be a fancy zip line. We want it to be something that the player likes, just like they like a pet right now, but something that they can fight with, something they can build with, something they want to explore with, something they can name and take care of. How do we do all of these things, right? And to be honest, in early access and game preview, we've only done like a fraction of the ideas of things that we would like to do. But it was really important to say, like, okay, as a base level, you can run around the world, you can run around really fast, you can do some navigation options, You can fight either on your buggy or off your buggy and have them fight with you if you're off of it. You can harvest stuff. You have more inventory. You can place blueprints and build stuff. And you do all of these things. How does the community now feel about this foundational level?
Yeah.
You guys enjoy it? What is missing for the community, or what doesn't feel right? And how can we lean into that? And then we can start figuring out, like, what other sorts of things do we want to do? What other buggies do we want to make, or other features? So
Yeah.
for us, it's a really, really, really big feature.
Yeah.
There's a lot went into it, and it went into it from the day we started. So yeah, I probably missed a bunch of stuff.
No, you didn't miss anything, or you didn't miss. You captured most of it. The only couple of things I would add to it is, we also wanted to make sure, just like, you know, hey, I need to keep a creature, and one particular weapon does more damage than another one. Just like bugs are in the real world, each buggy we also want to feel like it should be and be good at what it's supposed to be relative to the real world. So when Chris was talking about kind of harvesting, you know, that is really optimizing, you know, building and gathering. That's what an ant does, right? So the red soldier ant is really optimized for the building, the gathering, exploring other ant hills. Now the orb weaver buggy can't chop down things or can't do that, but it's really good at fighting. So like, we also want to make the buggies feel like they fit, and also feel like they each have their own kind of personality and flair. And that also comes to fruition with each buggy has its own special ability that we'll kind of continue to play with as well. The red soldier ant can kind of munch through the roots and also recruit other worker ants to kind of come and support and be in your party. And then the orb weaver has kind of the web kind of shield, which is just like a cool look for blocking, because both buggies can block. So cool. But also has a roar that kind of like frighten and scare other smaller or mid-sized and smaller creatures in the world. So
and shoot webs.
And shoot webs. I'm sorry, so many things. And shoot webs, obviously, because the spider has to shoot webs. But we also, in addition to all the things Chris said, we want to make sure each buggy has its own character and flair and feels like it should be in the grounded world. And that was like another component of what we did too.
Yeah, that's so cool to hear. I mean, I think it's just the beginning for Mouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a bunch of ideas for the future. Just a side note, I would love to see some kind of flying mounts in the future, of course.
We know we want the flying mount, and I think what I would say is, like, you noted this in your questions. I did read a couple of them that you sent over already, and you noted like, oh, it's probably an end game thing because I know it would change stuff. And just like mounts and buggies were harder because it changes the way you navigate the park, like, we're thinking about that stuff of like, how do we not break the game by introducing a flying mount? And could we do that, or could we make that happen? So we hear you. You gotta give us a little bit of time to cook on that one, and we might introduce a lot of other ones before the flying one. That would, if it ever does happen, it'll be at the very end, right, of the journey. So.
Nice, that's cool. And I think we have to go to the next question. And my next question is about the map size, and this is one of the things that excites me most about Grounded 2, the size of the map. And I can't wait to explore every single corner with the community. So, with that said, how big is the park of Brook Hollow?
How big is it right now at early access, or how big do we anticipate it being in the future?
Right now, what can you expect in terms of exploration in July 29?
Yeah, so the very first area we're releasing in early access and game preview is roughly about the size of the backyard. It's not exactly 1-to-1, but it's roughly the same size, and we think that the park is going to be probably around 3 times the size of the yard when it's completely done. So it's going to be quite a bit bigger. And the reason why it's so much bigger is, number one, we just wanted to make more places for people to explore and have more biomes, but also introducing buggies made us need to think about the size of the park and how close are, how close are things to each other. And before, when you had to run around, maybe they were a little closer together, so we could space them out a little bit more. We can just make things feel more organic, but still mix them up really nicely with man-made structures like you would see in a park. And just make a lot more stuff that would be a lot more fun.
Yeah, and to be super, super clear, when Chris says as big as the backyard is today. So 1.4.7 size, like of all that content, that's roughly what we're talking about for what's released on July 29th.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm very excited for the ice cream biome.
It's awesome. And I can't wait to make more biomes like that, because that one's really, really fun. Like to be able to, I think one of the most fun parts about Grounded is because you're small, it creates these like the very basic things like an ice cream cart now becomes this really, really cool ice dungeon. And I'm excited for you to get in there and be able to explore and kind of find, what terror might meet you while you go through the ice cream cart. But each one of those, we always kind of think about like, what fantasy can we create like with this space? It's not just an infected, it's not just a anthill with some fertilizer in it. It's like now this infected like poison dungeon that we've created. Or it's not just a snack bar or an ice cream cart, it's an ice dungeon. So we're excited about that one too.
It's so cool. Ice cream biome is something I was dreaming about since the first time on Ground 1, so it will be awesome for me. And good. I think we have to go for the next question, and the next question is about the story. I need to know if you guys can share a little bit about the story. How the story will be implemented in Grounded 2 at launch. Will you have some kind of Act 1, like introduction of the story?
So you were there for the whole journey, right? For Grounded, like from like the very beginning.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest things we learned from that was we didn't have as much story, right? When early access launched with Grounded 1.
Yeah.
This time around, we are gonna have a lot more. So you've played the game, you've seen. We have an intro cinematic that kind of sets the stage of what's happening. You have a lot of VO and kind of all the characters are VO'd and the story is progressing. So in short, yes, we have kind of a full-fledged Act 1 of the story at launch that will set the tone, give you a little bit of an understanding of what's going on, but really create a lot of mystery about what's to come in the future. And our plan for story is really to give this kind of more robust Act 1 at early access launch. Probably just do more world building and Easter egg plotting throughout the course of early access, and then deliver the rest of the story really at 1.0, like once all the features and everything is complete, because we know that's like what people liked at each of those stages at early access launch and at 1.0 was getting that full story at the end. And we kind of want to keep people, including you, guessing about kind of where we want to go, and even kind of listen to your speculations about what's happening. So, but the beginning will be a full like Act 1 of a story.
Yeah,
and there will be. Oh, go ahead.
No, you could go, sir.
Oh, I was just going to say. So, while we're telling sort of just enough story to sort of help the player along and give them some ideas and some mysteries about what's going on, most of the main like NPC characters are going to appear in the world as they're introduced in the story. They're just not going to give you all of the information that you might want them to give you.
Yeah.
So they'll be present, you'll see them, you just might not understand exactly what's going on. And that's we like building the mystery, but again, we want to be able to deliver that entire story experience at 1.0 and sort of solve all of that and bring it all together and make all those puzzle pieces fit.
The other part of the story we actually haven't talked a lot about, that is a little bit more present in the start of early access, is you're going to get a lot more of a vibe of who each of the different teams are. There's a lot more VO of like with the teams talking and reacting to things, or like or thinking about back to Grounded 1 or whatever else like happened, and it just is it fleshes out their characters a little bit more earlier on too, which I hope a lot of y'all have kind of fun with, of like seeing how they've evolved since the last 2 years, but also like getting reacquainted with like, Hoops and Willow and Max and Pete, like, and they'll all react in the world like hopefully as you imagine that they would, right? Pete gets super nerdy into what's going on with the bugs and the ecology of everything. Max is shooting jokes all the time. Willow's being willowy, and and Hoops is kind of being real headstrong and charging in. So I hope that like that's another part of it. It's not like traditional, like just like this is this happens and this happens, but it is a lot of it brings the world to life a little bit more, and like there's a lot more of those in there as well for the character development.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm very excited to see the new dialogues and the interaction with the 4 players together.
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome. So the next question is about the building system, the constructions. And this area is one of most beloved areas for the game. I think you guys know that already. And one thing I have heard from the community over and over again, and it's something I personally think would be amazing, is the possibility of painting walls or some kind of color customization for walls, maybe using some flowers to do that. And I need to know this kind of thing is possible, and this kind of area of the game, like constructions, the base system, is one of the areas you guys will collecting and analyzing the player feedback.
So absolutely, but I want to set, so we know how important building is for sure, but we also know there's a baseline of building working really well. And so what I'd say for the initial early access launch, there'll be a new set of building materials that you'll see to kind of flesh that out a bit, but those will be coming in future updates. Like we have that on the roadmap. We want to do more stuff with how we expand on building, how we make building better, all that sort of thing. But I'll say at early access, it's pretty close to what Grounded 1 was. In terms of like, how do I want to frame I almost should frame it like I framed the flying creature request. That's a great idea you have with regards to like, maybe going out and collecting flower petals and then grinding them up to make paint. We've talked about that stuff a lot. There's things that we are exploring to try to give more variety to allow you all to customize how you want. But what I will say is those will come with some updates in the future. They won't quite be like right out the gate at launch, but they will come soon in the future with updates that we have been considering and been working through. I don't know if there's anything else you feel more confident in.
I'm just going to say we know very clearly, and I'm like over half builder myself. Like my bases are always crazy. We know how much that community loves that aspect of the game, and so when we're talking about what's on the roadmap or what our features are, all that kind of stuff, we're always talking about this constantly, and how to expand this and how to make it cool. So just absolutely acknowledging that, and we are constantly thinking about it, and there will be stuff that will show up on the roadmap, but it's not going to be there for early access.
There will be stuff on the roadmap, and I'll say like beyond just us exploring customization and painting and stuff like that. We also are talking about like other new building materials so that you can like your bases can look different, like in and of themselves. Different things like different window shapes, different sizes of tile sets, tiny triangles to help with corners. We're talking about a lot of that
All
stuff,
kinds of
and
stuff.
we have plans to make sure we expand on that, especially. And one of the reasons, maybe that we think it's important to do in the midst of throughout early access, in even more so than like right up front, is because we know that's when like the builders are really cooking, right? Like, that's when like you can kind of explore, you can kind of push the boundaries of things. Like maybe you're waiting in between an update, and so having those things come a little bit later on will help, hopefully, satisfy the builders over the course of early access. If there's ever a little bit of a lull as we're working on the next update, like trying to get more building stuff then.
Mhm.
So it won't just be paint. We will try and we'll work through that stuff, but we'll try to do other things as well to help expand building and grounded.
That's cool. That's so nice to hear. So, I have one final question.
Yes.
I won't take up much of your time. I think you guys are super busy right now. So, but I do love to ask one final question about something I haven't heard much discussion on that yet, and it's about boss fights. So, what can we expect in terms of boss fights in Grounded 2? It's one of my favorite parts of the game. I love so much Infected Broodmother, and all the boss fights. So you guys can make a taste of what's coming for Grounded 2.
Yeah, I just want to settle something because we were having this debate the other day. The Infected Broodmother is your favorite boss, right? From Grounded 1,
Yeah.
like that's the best one, right? We were debating which one was the best, and I just want to. I won't even say who was right, but I'm glad, and it's recorded now, so I can share this with anyone else who is disagreeing.
She's
It
the
was,
best.
by the way, it was a debate between the Orchid Mantis
Yes.
and
The Mantis versus Infected Broodmother. Those were
yeah.
who we
So
were
that was the debate that was occurring. So there will be some what I'll call sort of light boss fights, right? There are some named creatures that are buffed up that exist in the world that you're going to want to take down and or farm that are more like, I would say they were more like the Black Widows in Grounded, right? Where they're very difficult fights, but they're not unique. There is one unique fight in the game. I'm not going to spoil that.
Yeah, we want you to enjoy this one.
We
There's
want you to
there's
enjoy
an
it.
interesting, hopefully unexpected type of boss that you're gonna get at the end.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then we have some, I think, exciting plans. And again, I don't want to spoil anything, but we have, I will say, some big plans for some boss fights in the early updates for the game, and we're pretty excited about those.
Yeah,
So,
The way that I'll be cute about it is, so there will be a few bosses like Chris said, and there's one in particular that's going to be small but very unique. Like
Yeah.
very, very unique in terms of like we haven't done this before in Grounded. So like again, I want you to go experience that, and like I can't wait to see your reaction and like what your feedback is on that. Like Chris said too, we want to go as big as we possibly can with the like so it still functionally works as a boss fight, with one shortly after in early access. So very quickly after our early access launch, relatively quickly after our early access launch, we will have another boss fight that, maybe some people are talking about, or like some things have gone out about, like, but you'll see it. That's the most I can give. I can't spoil too much yet.
I'm very excited for that. I love boss fights, and I love to hear about some kind of mini bosses along all the park. I mean, I love that idea that Chris commented about. It's so cool to.
Yeah, I think there was, and by the way, this is something that I was really for. And of course, IDOS was super for it. Team was super for it. But it was just like here and there. Let's just have creatures that are like a lot harder, kind of on their own, that you can fight or not fight. and make them rewarding and special in their own way, so that we're not always just fighting orb weavers and wolf spiders. Every now and then, it's that crazy, super powerful one that most of the mechanics are the same, but by golly, it's really tough.
Yeah.
And you get something cool off of it. Because I'm with you. I think that's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we one of the, I'll say this the last thing, I whatever, I like to risk things too much. One of the categories that we think about like are like how do I frame this? How do I want to say this? I don't do too much. The you know how our tagline used to be "Go big or never go home."
Yeah.
What I'll say is like maybe we start making bosses like the size of my hand. That's what I'll say.
Jesus.
Is that right? Is that roughly right? Like that's what
crazy.
we want to go
That's
for.
crazy.
It's trying to do that. Now, I want to be super honest with you. We'll see if you all like that too, because that'll be
Yeah,
really
that might be
interesting. Because when
terrible.
bosses get that big, who knows how that goes? But we want to try and see how that works, and then we'll iterate on it and try to make it better and figure out what the right thing is. But
Yeah.
we agree with you that bosses are important too.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Anyway,
That's so cool. And I have few hot topics. I mean, it's fast. Can you guys?
Yeah, go.
Okay, one of them is about the achievements. Achievements will be available at launch or in a future updates.
Future updates.
Future updates.
So yeah, early access doesn't have any achievements. I don't know when we'll bring those online. Obviously by 1.0 for sure, but probably before then.
Okay, nice. Thank you
Yeah.
for your answer. And I have the final. I promise. And
It's okay. Yeah, totally cool.
and it's about something is really important for us here in Brazil, and it's about the translation, the Portuguese subtitles, and I want to know if will be available at launch or in a future updates.
Want to say exactly when?
You can say it.
All
You
right.
can do it.
So they're not going to be at launch 2 months. 2 months after launch.
2 months. Oh, that's
2
fine.
months.
I
So it's the first major, the first biggish update for the game, which we're not putting a date on exactly. We don't know exactly when it's going to be, but roughly 2 months is when we plan to have that incorporated.
That's cool. That's very cool.
We know that's important, and we know that we have
Yeah.
a
A strong backing.
we know that lots of people play in Brazil and other places. So like we want to make sure that it comes sooner.
Yeah.
For you all.
That's cool to hear. That's all, and I just like to hear from you guys say 2 words in Portuguese. You guys can do this.
Sure. We'll try.
Like my introduction in my videos and live stream, it's Capitão aqui, que é como it's like Captain here. Can you guys
Aqui.
Capital aqui.
Speak-
Is that right?
yeah, Capitão
Capital
aqui.
aqui. Okay, we'll do it on 3. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Capital aqui.
Thank you guys. That's it. And I mean, this whole experience has been truly magical for me. It's such an honor to have you guys here appearing in my channel. So I genuinely thank you all. And this is a huge milestone for me and the Brazilian community. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No,
You know what?
sincerely, like we can't. None of this happens without like a community behind to kind of support, and so, yes, we love getting to do this. Yes, we hope a bunch of people play. Like, this is so meaningful, and like you don't understand how much it means to all of us and the rest of the team. So sincerely, thank you for going on the journey with us. Thank you, the ups and downs and everything in between, and we just hope that we can continue to bring you joy and help you all have fun playing the game with us. So thank you so much.
Obrigado. Love you guys. I love to see your excitement for the game. It's like our excitement. So thank you so much.
Very much so.
Great.
Thank you. We'll
Thank you.
we'll talk to you soon, and go have fun playing.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.